but nobody's playing the game. People are still playing the game, okay? It's a couple weeks in the season. Yeah, most people should be done with whatever they're doing, but nobody's really getting mythics, okay? Like some people who have plunked hundreds of hours into the game already are getting like one or two of the iconic mythics. Now, if you don't know what those are the mythics that were in the game prior to patch Mythic 3.0, which is what just dropped in Season 14. Mythic 3.0, let's go into the patch notes and we'll talk about it while we do that. If you're playing the game and you've normally had mythics and you go to Forge, you can do a random mythic and you'll use sparks and you'll get what's called an iconic mythic. You can also go to this dude over here. Even though it says rune crafting, it's where they put mythic uniques. You used to have where you would have an iconic mythic here. So you would have a named mythic. It would be Ring of Starless Skies. It would be Grandfather. Now you have just any mythic or unique in the game, right? So any unique can be mythic. Any mythic is unique, but there is no iconic, which is unique to build, right? So you would use Ring of Starless, you would use Erepedition in a lot of different builds. Now it's just craft and get something random that could potentially be anything that I'm wearing. So if I look at this right here, Cowl of the Nameless can now be a mythic unique. It'll be purple. It'll have a bunch of stats. The thing that's not happening is people aren't finding things like Erepedition, which is still pretty highly regarded for in-game builds, things like that. But they shouldn't have been dropped from the loot table altogether. Should you be able to craft them here? I still think so. But let's look at patch notes, as I said I was going to do.
3 weeks later.
We were going to look at patch notes, right? Let's look at those and see what they're doing for Season 14. This is what got everybody up in a roar. Now they're patching a little bit. We'll see what actually happens here. So, patch notes. We're about to deploy these. This is for all platforms, July 14th. So, today, added seasonal reputation board to Themis. Now, this is interesting. Okay, this deviates from why we're doing this video, but I'm going to make a point about this. Themis is now becoming the town of all towns. Okay, if Themis is going to be the town of all towns, do we really need other towns? They're going to hold NPCs that have quests and things like that. Can we just put those NPCs somewhere? Are we going to get rid of towns and just have like teleportation points, like mini camps, right? Because do I need anything other than Themis? So if I'll show you an example. This is Themis. If I tab out, we're in what I call Mecca. If you look at this board here, you can see everything that Themis has to offer, which is basically everything. So much so that they've even gotten rid of, you don't even have to go to the den to do bartering. Once you unlock bartering, go to the den, you find the NPC, then you have that unlocked here. I can go here and we can barter. La la la. You see Fayura right here, you can barter. Cool. If you want to hire somebody, you like Aldkin is here. Faryana is here. Everything is here. The den. If they move the seasonal board, which seasonal board is over here in Zarbinzet. Okay, there's a seasonal board. Right now, I don't even have a seasonal board. It's not even there. The Pandemonium Threshold is there. Now, that might not move, which would be interesting. But if we're looking at Themis, Themis is our main hub. I've got the Artificer's Obelisk here, so I can do Pit. I got Spirit Brazier, so I can do Undercity. I don't need Nahantu anymore. I don't need any other towns, really. The cube is here. No other town has the cube. So what I think they're doing, potentially, is moving the entire town here. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but if every piece of the game is here, including anything that's not a boss is here, then why am I going to these other towns? Why are they so big? They might collapse these. They might not, because they're part of the game as the story. So you do have a starting point in the story, like Kiovashad, probably won't go anywhere. Kiovashad, the main town here, it's big. It has a lot of different things. Probably not going anywhere. The rest of these are just kind of waypoints. Like, why am I going to Menestad? My past was Saragar. Saragar was my past town because Saragar had everything. It had the pit. Now that we have pit in Temis, do I really need it? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that was something from that. Death toll chambers will always reward at least one superior key. I think that's good. I actually, at one point during the season, had way more superior keys on my alt account, Sorceress, than I did greater layer keys. So I wasn't having a problem with this. At maybe others were. That's okay. Corrupted Reaper now drops up to 2 Pandemonium Fragments, scaling with Torment level. I think that's huge because that currency is kind of rare. We need that for crafting mythics. If you want to make more mythics in a cube, this is something that you need. Repeatable Glints of Hope reputation now guarantee a Pandemonium Fragment. So repeatable gifts, if you're not familiar, now I actually have to go to the stupid town and show you. So we're going to Zarbinzet. We are in Zarbi, as I call it. These are repeatable gifts. So I've got 4 stored up because I'm waiting for the patch to drop. Once you get to 20, you'll get your spark, and then you start getting repeatable gifts. This is kind of like when you are doing these levels with your mercenaries. Once you finish, you go to rapport, and you have those gifts start stacking as well. It's the same thing. So what's happening with those? Glints of Hope. You're going to get a Pandemonium Fragment with that drop. That's great. Reducing the cost of mythics upgrades from 5 to 4. So you're getting a 20% increase in what you can craft for your random mythics. Now, if I go back to town, so we're here in the cube. This is what I mean by crafting. It's unique to a mythic, it's going to cost these fragments. These fragments are not easy to get. Well, they're easy to get now, and they will be easier to get. But I only have 10, and I'm in T9. Like, I'm casual. I play a couple hours a night. Not a big deal. I'm not farming all day long for all of this stuff. So I have 10. I can make 2. If I get 2 more fragments as of patch time, I'll be able to make 3. That's 3 of these things that I can upgrade. Now, as of right now, this thing, if I upgraded Wind Force, right now, upgrade this to a Mythic Unique, you will not get Wind Force. You may get Wind Force. You will likely get something completely random. And what I think they're patching in here is when you craft something, it'll be in the same archetype. So if you do a bow, you will get a bow. Okay, there's not that many unique bows. You will at least get a better chance of getting the bow that you were actually crafting. So you will not guarantee this will move to a Mythic Unique. What it will do is give you a Mythic Unique bow. So it's still random. It's just like doing the upgrade, or it's just like crafting at the jeweler, but you start with a unique, you make a new unique. You don't have to use runes. Okay, so 2 different types of ways to make those things, 2 different crafting economies. Runes are way harder to find for me. They don't drop very often, but Pandemonium Fragments are part of the season, so we're getting more of those guaranteed. Yeah, the rest of this patch, not super interesting. There's some things going on. This is just for the season. Now the expansion. There's some things with class-specific things happening in the expansion. We have an issue where Whisper ambushes could fail to drop loot. Slightly annoying. Fix an issue where you can't pin marks of Eldraine. Added Eldraine back to the Mythic Unique cache from the Blacksmith. Kind of interesting how they dropped that one from the game. Base game fixes. We have some things that are class specific. And then we've also got down here, they buried the one thing that people are looking for in this patch. They buried it down. They're not trying to hide it. They just buried it down into the base game. And it's right here. Fixed an issue that was preventing certain sources of uniques from dropping as mythic, including layer bosses. So the rumors or the inside information that went out to the Diablo creators was 100% true, spot on. The uniques were not dropping as mythic from bosses. So if you're struggling, if you want better loot, Save up whatever you have right now. Obviously, it's late in the game, I get it, but if you're playing this morning, or if you're waiting for the patch like I am, I'm just farming up some stuff until it drops, and then we're going to go run boss keys and see how the loot table goes. So let me know in the comments if your post-patch results are good, if you're finding stuff, if anything is has changed for you in your farming. Otherwise, I'll see you out there in Sanctuary. Good luck farming.
Stay